So, may, andito na tayo sa ating fifth module, Module E. So, we will be discussing about functions. And recap, ito actually ilang beses ko nang nababanggit sa notes or dito sa mga videos yung about sa functions. Yan. Actually, nung unang-una pa lang, kasi nga, every C program should have one main function. So, ano nga ba yung ibig sabihin ng function? Yan. So, ngayon, in this module, pag-aaralan na natin kung paano gumamit ng functions, paano gumawa ng sarili nyong functions. And actually, nabanggit namin natin to doon sa C standard library functions na discussion previously. So, alam lang natin kung paano sila gamitin, yung mga let's say sa math.h, pero hindi natin alam kung paano nga ba gumawa ng sarili mong function. Okay? Now, yan, C programs, sabi dito, C programs are collections of functions such as the main function. So, lahat ng programming instructions ay nasa loob ng main function. So far, itong nasa, so far, itong nandito, yan pa lang yung ginagawa natin. Lahat nilalagay natin sa loob ng main function. Pero, when you are solving real-world problems na much more complicated, much larger than what we are, than hello world lang. So, yung practical na ilagay lahat ng instructions sa isang function kasi mas mahirap siyang i-basahin, mas mahirap siyang i-analyze, mas mahirap siyang i-debug. So, just like in other fields of knowledge, it is always useful na yung complex problem natin is binibreak down natin into smaller and simpler problems. Okay? Now, syempre, once na ma-breakdown mo na siya into simpler problems, pag na-solve mo na yung mga easier ones, mas madali na lang silang integrate together para ma-solve yung original problem. So, ganun din yung ginagawa sa programming. So, the best way to develop, maintain a large program is to construct it from smaller pieces. So, by divide and conquer. So, this is a famous na war strategy. Okay? Now, let's define functions formally. So, functions are the building blocks of a program. They are also called modules. So, now, para hindi kayo ma-confuse sa course modules natin sa UBLE, we will call functions as functions. Okay? Now, yung functions, pwede mo din siyang i-treat as miniature programs na kapag pinagsama-sama mo, you can form larger ones. Now, yung programs natin, yung mga functions sa loob ng programs natin can be new functions that you write yourself, is yung user-defined functions, or pre-packaged functions na which is napag-aralan natin last time nga, yung C standard library functions. Na ano ba ang advantages ng paggamit ng functions? Kasi nung ang curriculum pa ng C is yung 5-year curriculum, after ng programming na subject, so meron pang isang subject, CE28 after ng CE26. And ang napapansin ko sa mga students is they are, tawag dito, kahit na napag-aralan naman na nila si functions, they are always packing all the instructions inside the main function instead of using or defining their own functions. So, ano nga ba ang advantage? First is, you can focus on one function at a time. So, diba? So, pwede, kung naalala niyo yung debugging approach na din na diniscuss natin nung module B, which is yung tawag dito, yung mag-i-start ka muna sa a piece of code that runs, tapos pag nag-run na yun, mag-add ka ulit ng konti. Pag may nag-error, alam mo na nandun siya sa kaka-add mo lang na block, nandun yung error. So, same din, ma-useful yung function sa ganong approach kasi let's say yung function mo gustong gawin itong task na to for your program. you can focus on that function only, construct it, debug it, and perfect it. Tapos, saka ka makapag-move on sa iba pang parts ng program mo. Okay? Now, ayan. So, ang maganda, sa pang maganda sa function, different people can work on different functions simultaneously. So, previously, yung mga sa programming subjects ng CE, we have what we call machine problems, and may mga times na they are done by groups. So, pag by groups, ang tendency, isang tao lang yung gumagawa ng program, the rest sa paper. Or isa pa is nag-aantayan, let's say, okay, sa akin yung first phase ay yung second phase, sa kanya yung third phase. So, anong nangyari? Hindi pa maka-work yung iba hanggat hindi pa tapos yung isang phase. Pero by using functions, you can have multiple people working on the same program using different functions simultaneously. So, sasapat dito ay you can write a function once and use it many times in a program. Yun ang maganda. Every time na gusto mong gamitin yung statements enclosed in your function, hindi mo na siya kailangang i-copy-paste every time yung mga statements na yun. So, you just have to use that function. Depende kung ilang beses mo siya gamitin sa program. Okay? And of course, it enhances the program readability kasi nga hindi lahat nakapack doon sa loob ng main function. Okay, now how function works can be illustrated here using an analogy sa hierarchical form of management. So, tingnan natin. So, sa isang workplace, you have a boss and ina-ask niya yung worker to perform a task. Okay? Now, after matapos ng worker yung task, he may need to report back to the boss about doon sa result ng task na kanyang ginawa. Okay? Now, sa functions, similarly, yung boss, yun yung calling function. So, ito yung function na tawag dito, call doon sa called function, which is in this case si worker, through a function call. So sa loob ng calling function, you have what we call a function call na kapag nabasa yun ng computer, senyales yun na kailangan niyang i-run naman yung called function. Ngayon, si called function, after niyang ma-execute yung mga commands inside it, it may need to return a certain output to the calling function. Ngayon, yung ni-return na output ng called function doon sa calling function, pwede niyang gamitin ngayon sa iba pang expressions or statements. Now, doon sa analogy, pwede rin mangyari na yung worker is mag-delegate ng some of his work to other workers. So, para magiging boss siya ng mga other workers. Pero, yun, pwedeng alam ito na, this may happen nang hindi yan alam ng boss. So in this case, sa program, yung tinawag na function, yung called function, can also be a calling function to other functions. Okay? So parang magiging ganyan. So in this case, ang special dito is si boss, so nag-ask ng trabaho kay 321, worker 321, si worker 1, naisip niya na mas magandang i-delegate pa further yung trabaho niya to workers 4 and 5. Ngayon, ang problema, hanggat hindi pa tapos si workers 4 and 5, hindi pa rin matatapos ni worker 1 yung task niya. Kasi, the worker 1 needs the output of worker 4 and 5 para matapos yung output niya. Same din kay boss, hindi niya matatapos yung kanyang project kung yung tasks ni worker 1, 2, and 3 ay hindi pa tapos. Okay? Yan. So, as mentioned earlier, we have two different types of functions, the user-defined and the predefined functions. Ngayon, yung C standard library functions fall under the predefined function. So, actually, ito hindi ko na i-discuss kasi nga, na-discuss natin siya noong module B. So, ang nagagamit natin madalas dito ay si math.h, si stdio, stdlib, si string kapag mahilig kang gumamit ng string, si time.h. So, ayan. So, actually, that's it for this content. Diniscuss lang talaga natin yung introduction, how functions work. Now na meron na tayong idea paano nag-work ang function, ang next content na natin will be about how to define your own functions. So, yeah, that's it.